Hello everyone, happy almost December. If you're anything like me, you've been in the Christmas mood since the first leaf turned brown. And it's been even worse for me this year because my Pinterest has been force feeding me with the most gorgeous vintage Christmas decor. I wish I could make it all, but I have a job. So for this time around, we're just gonna focus on some beaded fabric ornaments, as well as a homemade Christmas tree skirt. And then lastly, we're gonna absolutely drown some bulbs in a bunch of beads. Those ones in particular makes me wonder if it's possible to be sexually attracted to a Christmas ornament. All signs point to yes. Really quick before I start the video, I have some very exciting news. The company CC Hobby or Creative Company were kind enough to send me most of the materials I used in this video. This is my first sponsor, y'all. I'm so excited. And what makes this even better is that I've shopped at this store for years. It is the place I go whenever I need anything craft supply wise. So please, please, please make sure to give this video a bunch of love so they'll want to work with me again in the future. I'm gonna link every single item that I use down in the description. If it's not linked, it's because it's recycled materials. For example, the base fabric of our first project, but you'll see. So let me stop yapping and let's get into the first DIY. I'm gonna make two that are kind of like on easy mode, and then I'm gonna do two that are a little bit harder, but honestly they're gonna be pretty easy as well. I might be like insane delusional. It's funny because I'm schizophrenic. Anyways, but I actually don't think this is gonna take too long. You guys, I was right. It is literally so easy. Grab some thick paper. Mine is from a skewer container. I don't know what that's called in English. Draw the shape that you want your ornament to be. You could do a star or a gingerbread man or a Christmas tree. Really whatever you want. But I am doing a heart. I'm just folding my paper in half to make sure it's symmetrical. And then I cut it out and then we have a stencil. Grab a marker and draw around your stencil 2 times on your fabric so you have a front and back. We're gonna be sewing a variety of beads on this bad boy. And like I said before, everything is linked down below. I just kind of laid out my beads for a little trial and error until I was happy with the pattern, and then I took a pic so I could remember the pattern. I actually changed my mind as I was sewing. Duh, are you new here? But don't worry, you'll see what I ended up doing in a minute, girly pop. Then you really just have to slap your fabric into an embroidery hoop and sew all the beads on there. You're gonna want to go through the beads like 2-ish times just to make sure they're really on there. Now for the purple fabric. It is stretchy, which isn't gonna work for this, so we're using interfacing. It's just this like paper-y fabric kind of stuff that you iron onto your fabric so it gets thicker and structured, you know. Not stretchy. But other than that little detail, I'm doing literally the same exact thing. Well, okay, except I'm changing out the colors of the beads to actually match the purple colors instead of the green, you know? But then it's time to assemble. Cut out the hearts with a seam allowance of like 1 centimeter and then pin them together, pretty sides facing each other. Then sew along the heart outline, but make sure to leave a gap so you can flip the whole thing inside out. I trimmed off the excess, but I'm not really sure if that was necessary, to be honest. But anyways, I stuffed my heart with scrap fabric I've been saving from previous projects. Viewers of the channel will maybe recognize some of it from previous videos. You gotta really stuff this thing, by the way, otherwise it's just gonna look a little sad. But anywho, stitch that hole and get some decorative string to sew around the edge of the heart just for a little extra pizzazz. I'm also gonna leave a little extra string at the top for the loop to hang it on the actual tree, you know? Believe it or not, I did actually just like randomly have this laying around. I took it from my dad, who I'm pretty sure got it in a garage sale in like the 2000s or the 90s, so thank you, Dad. They were actually so freaking easy to make and they were so cute. I did these 2 in like a couple of hours. So that is my 2 simple hearts done. Now I am going to do 2 that are a little bit harder, but honestly it's not that much harder. It just has more of an intricate pattern to it. I actually think the orange is super ugly. I'm gonna change it to this cream color that is matches the trim we're gonna put on. Guys, this is like going really well. I'm exceeding my own expectations. That was so freaking easy. But now it's on to our second DIY, and again, I think this is actually gonna be way easier than it looks. I did have to go buy just a little bit of stuff at the fabric store, and I was at my dad's house, so I went to a different fabric store that I usually do, and I felt like I was cheating on my fabric lady. It's fine. I needed to grab some green ribbon in different sizes and shapes so I can like kind of make a little bit of dimension. Sure. I grabbed some other stuff as well, but that's for later. I forgot to take a picture of my little heart decorations, so I just kind of guessed what main fabric color would look nice with the rest of the stuff that I had already made. And of course it also had to complement the green shade. So I landed on this gorgeous fabric and then also this piping for the edge, so I don't have to sew the hem that clean, because this will make it look nice and more expensive. And then to close it, we're gonna use this velvet ribbon. I actually forgot to buy something for this, so this is for later, but I mean, if it works, it works. And then of course I have my green ribbons and thread to match both the light and the dark, and the red fabric. And lastly, oh my gosh, my girly, the set of pearls that we also used for the heart decorations. I actually don't really have an idea of what I'm doing, but I think I'll figure it out along the way, as per usual. And then we have this beautiful tree skirt. I'm very tempted to make an actual skirt out of this fabric. It is so pretty. Oh, imagine a matching dress to your Christmas skirt. How iconic is that? Not right now though, I didn't buy enough fabric. Okay, so for the next step you're gonna need your green ribbon, a ton of pins. Since I want the dark green to be the prominent color, I'm gonna do the light green thick ribbon first. That way when I sew the dark green ribbon on, it's gonna, you know, cover a lot of the light green ribbon. Right. Once I've kind of established a pattern, I'm just gonna like roughly repeat it all the way around so I don't have to invent a new pattern all the way around. Just to make it easier on myself. Oh, my back hurts. It hurts so good. I used literally all of my pins. But look at how gorgeous. Honestly, now that I'm seeing the light green out like this, I'm kind of thinking I don't want the dark green. I tried kind of like laying it out there. I just feel like it cheapens the look more than making it look, you know, like three-dimensional as I was planning. So I just sewed on the thick light green ribbon first. I focused on one of the edges all the way around the skirt until I reached the end where the biggest Christmas gift of all was waiting for me. Because now we get to do it all over again. Yay! Only this time you're gonna sew down the other side of the ribbon so it's fully secured on there. After that I just freestyle the skinny light green ribbon to give the design a little more detail. Up.
They reappeared.
Yeah. So here it is all sewed on. I'm already pretty happy with it, but what's gonna take it one step further and make it look super polished is sewing the pearls on there. I laid them out to see what placements would look pretty, and I ended up with like 2 to 3 pearls in different sizes on each knot, if you will. So like where the leaf kind of grows out of the branch or whatever. I don't know.
I hope my lack of fingers doesn't prevent the perception of my air quotes.
Boom, bitch. Thank you! I know that's right. And it only took about
20 minutes.
Right. Like 4 hours maybe.
Jeg skal snakke hen over, at vi ser det her.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer musical episode, and that's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, let's put this bad boy on there. Okay, so now I have some very badly spray painted balls. It doesn't really matter how badly they're spray painted because we're gonna cover it with a bunch of sparkly pearls, which is gonna very much distract us from the bad paint job. I was just impatient, so I sprayed too much and it started dripping, but it's fine. It's fine. I actually already made 2 of them when I was at my dad's house. I made the first one a little too tight, so it doesn't really dangle the way that I wanted it to. And then I made the second one a little too loose, so the pattern doesn't really show up. So call me freaking Goldilocks, because I got a feeling the third and fourth ones are gonna be just right. This is actually the thing I've been the most excited to make. I think I made that pretty clear. It makes me wonder if it's possible to be sexually attracted to a Christmas ornament. It's like a bunch of mini Christmas chandeliers. Are you kidding? These are my inspo pics, but I'm not gonna copy them like one-to-one because I can't follow directions to save my life. But anywho, we're primarily gonna use these little glass beads, and then also again we're using these pearls. And to literally tie it all together, I'm just using some white sewing thread. First order of business is making a string of the small glass beads to wrap around the top of the ornament, onto which we're gonna kind of drape all of the other pearls. So to add the other pearls, you're gonna cut 2 pieces of string about the length of your wingspan. The needle here is just to get the string through the pearl, and then after that you're not really gonna need it. Like I said, I only did 2 strings for starters because the other ones would just get in the way at this point. But loop those through and then do a double knot to stop them from slipping around when you're working. And then we can start adding the beads. The amount of beads you need depends on the size of your ball as well as the size of the beads you're using. But for my top layer, I started out by adding 2 of the pearls, and then I did 5 beads on each string, and then secured it with yet another double knot so nothing falls off while we're working on the rest of the sections. But then you're just gonna repeat those steps all the way around until you have this star flower-ish shape. And this is when I realized how easy this actually was gonna be, because we're just gonna repeat this same pattern all the way down the ball. I added like 1 bead-ish extra every time I moved on to a new row or section since the ball expands. That is until I made it to the middle where I started removing beads again. So the net of beads hugs the ball all the way down, honey. Since I want a lot of the danglies, I extended the net a little past the bottom for some extra space. Speaking of, let's talk about how we're gonna attach those. Where every single one of the pearls are, so where the sections cross, is where we're gonna add a dangle thing. So grab a string on a needle and poke it up through the pearl, add a bead, and then go down through the pearl again. And that way it's secure on there, and now we can add whatever we want. Of course, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You can make it longer or in different colors or like literally whatever you want. And to secure them, you're gonna separate the strings at the bottom and then put one of the strings through a small bead and then take the other string and poke it the other way. And then you just tie a double knot. It's definitely time consuming, but it's so easy. I did this all the way up my ball until around the halfway point, and then I was done. Literally the opportunities are endless when making these. But let me show you how I made the last ornament, and then we can finally decorate our Christmas tree with all of our homemade Christmas decorations. Okay, y'all. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. This is for sure not the last time I'm making my own Christmas decorations. I especially loved how much I was able to customize everything. Like, how fun and iconic is it to have like little personalized ornaments with you and your roommate's initials? Duh. Feliz Please let me know in the comments what your favorite one was and which one you're most likely to make yourself. I would literally love to see some pictures if you guys do it, so DM me. Speaking of, make sure to follow me on all my social media, which is linked in my bio as well as at the end of the video. My Instagram is private, but it's because I kind of use it as a free Patreon where I post behind the scenes stuff and just like stuff about my life. Like this video and subscribe. It's free for you, but it means the world to me. Come on, it's Christmas. I do have 1 to 2 more videos coming out before this year is over, but it feels very appropriate to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much, Creative Company, for gifting me all these items. And of course, thank you for watching this video. I love and appreciate every single one of you so much. I will see you very, very soon. Bye!